We are so knee deep into hedonism and pleasure that we expect not to struggle anymore. People hate the grind or realize that it's actually hard and it's not like those TikTok edits that you see and they give up. The assumption that people are naturally gifted with an ability to do something or if they have a genetic advantage is nonsense. Some people might have a slight genetic advantage over some others in certain areas, but that doesn't mean it's all hopeless. Struggle is necessary for growth because struggling mentally with frustration or trying to stay consistent when it's hard, trying to stay disciplined, it has the same growth process as hypertrophy training in the gym. When you keep lifting, your muscles eventually they get exhausted, and then your brain sends a signal like, let's rebuild this muscle here and let's make it stronger and bigger so that it could take on bigger loads if it needs to go back to work again. Your brain works the same way. Let's say you want to go to the gym, right? But it's really a struggle to get up out of bed and actually end up there at the gym and then start lifting. You can't just try to show up, try your best, and then hope that you'll get a nice physique or whatever. A habit tracker won't do shit for you. Targeted practice. Let me put you on targeted practice. What's the issue, first of all? It's not that the gym part is hard. It's just that the issue first might be hauling your ass to get out of bed and then going to the gym. The issue might not be actually training, but actually walking through the front door. Not even walking through the front door, leaving your front door. So targeted practice is targeting each little step of the big staircase. Let's say the first step of the staircase, right? Let's say because we're going upwards, right? We're not going downwards on the staircase. We have to ascend. Peep the channel banner. It says ascend on it. You're going upwards. The first step of the staircase, and you have the second and third and so on. The first step is to, first of all, just get ready for the gym because you're not going to be going naked. You have to really force yourself to put your gym clothes on. When you do that, you have to force yourself to get out the front door. Then you have to practice going to the gym once you get out the front door, not wandering around, not saying, oh, yeah, I'll just go for a walk later. Then you have to practice walking through the front door of the actual gym. Put in your little key card, your key fob, and then, you know what I mean? Or going to the person at the front desk. And then it's actually lifting the weight and staying in there. And it's little steps like this which result in incremental improvements. Because you can't just, it isn't fucking the grind on TikTok or whatever. Something in you is just gonna snap and then all of a sudden you're gonna fucking start slamming fucking steel plates like Ronnie Coleman or whatever. It doesn't work like that. When I first started going to the gym, I had to actually battle the awkwardness of finding a machine and adjusting the weight. It was just so fucking weird. Because in my brain, it was such an unfamiliar environment. And that's totally normal, by the way. Just because it's an unfamiliar environment and you feel uncomfortable doesn't mean you don't belong there. It just means you need to build your familiarity there. We have this such negative feeling when we go to the gym. Oh my God, it's so fucking awkward. I don't know what I'm doing or whatever. It's understandable and it's normal. You gotta realize it's normal. You just gotta fucking stay consistent. That feeling of not belonging at the gym, that weird imposter syndrome that you might be feeling. Oh, I'm too skinny. Why the fuck would I be here? I have no muscles. There's nothing to train. Or if you're overweight as hell, you might think, I'm overweight. What am I doing at the gym? You know what I mean? I have no muscles. There's nothing to train. But you just have to slowly wick away those thoughts. Right? When I first started, it was so awkward. It was like, in my mind, it was like, this is so weird. I have to struggle in a public environment in front of all these other people, and I'm lifting weight and I'm just putting my body through this pain. And it was so weird. You know what I mean? But the only way is through. If I want bigger muscles, I have to. There's no choice. So you keep going and eventually it's not weird anymore. You feel like you belong at the gym. The gym starts to feel like a second home or whatever. This thing is called targeted practice, and what it does is it builds this sheath, this insulator called myelin in your brain. So we know that neurons fire, they wire, which basically just means you have neuron synapse thingamaboob or whatever, and then two of them fire and then they connect with each other. But that's not all. There's more to it than that. They connect and then there's a little thing wire that insulates the connection, and that prevents the actual wire inside from connecting to other things, and it makes it unique. And these things will eventually turn into habits. So I have like one piece of myelin, which is going to the gym. Actually getting out of the front door and then training are two different things. So I have to look at my pair of headphones, right? I got a pair of headphones right here. This is the best analogy I'm going to give you right here. We have here, this is the right side. For you, it's the left, whatever. This is the left side, and this is the right side. Let's focus on the left side for now. On the left side, what happens? This is going out the front door. This right here, this wire is going out the front door, and this is training. Or this is the whole process of the gym, whatever. It binds to the whole gym, this bullshit thing. This is leaving my front door. Is if I cut this wire right here, if I cut it and I show you what's inside, what are you going to see? Copper or some metal thing? That's the neuron. This point all the way to this point in the middle here, this is a neuron. This is a neuron pathway. This one neuron pathway is leaving my house and commuting to the gym. And there's a copper wire here from point A to point B, and it's insulated with the rubber. And then I have the other piece. This is actually training in the gym. This is the slamming weights part. These are two individual neurological pathways. If they didn't have this rubber on the outside, guess what happens? They might touch each other. They're literally tangled up right now. See how they're tangled? What's going to happen if there wasn't this wire? The copper in them would fuse together and they wouldn't work properly. This is showing up. The more I show up to the gym, the thicker, in my brain at least, the thicker this insulator, myelin, is going to become. The thicker it's going to become, the better the response is going to be, the faster the response is going to be, the more efficient it's going to fire, because it'll become a solidified habit, which it is. And this is actually training to the gym. You might go to the gym. Going to the gym might be the easy part. Actually slamming the weights and actually training instead of just being a bitch and then dropping the weights after mild discomfort. There's something else you got to work on. This is actually training hard. This is on the right side down. This is actually training hard in the gym to points of luck and pure agony and pain. This is another thing, completely separate from this one. And they both join together to form the actual training process. So, what's my point with all of this? I first have to solidify going to the gym part. I then unlock the second part of the training, which is actually training. So we have going to the gym. You need to be disciplined enough to get your ass out of the front door. And you need to have a myelin sheath around. Let me simplify what a sheath is. It protects something. It's like a cover for something. It's something that wraps around something. You know, suppose I have a sword. The sword cover is a sheath. Slide the sword into something, right? I'm not going to just have the sword dangling here. It's sharp. It might cut my leg if I'm walking. So I slide the sword into something. It's called a sheath. Similar to this insulator out on the outside, the wire is called a myelin sheath. We have two myelin sheaths right here. So first one, I perfected it. I can go to the gym, easy peasy, no problem. I can walk through the front doors. It's no issue at all. Before it was, but I did targeted practice. The biggest problem was going to the gym. So I was like, all right, well, you know what? I'm just going to go to the gym. I'll do one exercise and I'm going to fuck off. Then slowly, this one's already solidified. Now I have to solidify this one. I have to go from just doing one exercise with a very thin myelin sheath, but now I have to make it thicker because I want to become bigger and stronger. And I can't do that by just doing one goddamn exercise, 4 sets of 12 on just one muscle group. It's not going to work. So now I have to strengthen this neurological pathway. And what I have to do, I have to do targeted practice. I have to practice giving it my all and having the discipline to keep going. One set turns into two turns into three turns into 4. That's one exercise. Slowly one exercise turns into two turn into three turn into 4. I usually do 4 or 5 because I do pull legs. So push day, back, sorry. God damn it. Chest, triceps, and shoulders. And both of these are solidified neurological pathways, and I have no stress. It's easy to go to the gym now. It doesn't require discipline anymore because I've been doing it for so long. It becomes easy. That's something people like to overlook. You know what I mean? They think, oh my God, I have to get out of bed every day. Let's start looking forward to the gym because it's not hard anymore. At first, it's super hard because your muscles hurt, but soon, the more you power through the pain, the easier it gets to do it over and over again because you become familiar with it. You're no longer scared of shoulders hurting or whatever, sore chest. It doesn't matter anymore. It becomes normal. I feel weird not having a sore muscle somewhere. I feel like shit. We have this. Notice how this one, right, that one that actually connects to the end of your phone, like this area here. This is the consistency. This is going every day. This one is here is not quitting. Right, I can't get it all on frame, but this final little segment here of the neurological this could be eating. For me, this is eating. I can go to the gym, I can train hard, but eating is hard because I'm bulking, right? I'm very skinny. Bulking, this is the hard part. There's likely 3 components. For you, it might be sleep or something. It depends on you. For me, it's I have to solidify the eating part, and I've been doing targeted practice. So first, I make sure I'm going to eat 2 meals. Okay, I'm going to eat 2 big meals, turn into 3, slowly going to turn into 3 big meals and snacks. This is pretty hard, but I have to do it incrementally because I can't put on too much of a fucking load on your brain at the same time because struggle mentally is the same as doing it physically. I can't go to the gym and bench 300 pounds right now. I don't have the strength for that. Similarly, I find it very hard to eat 3 meals a day. 3 big meals, eating like 4,000 calories. It's pretty hard to do. So I have to slowly, incrementally try to up my, calorie intake. I have to try to slowly eat more meals and I have to try to eat them more efficiently. But as you can see, I'm targeting one issue at a time. I'm not going all out. I'm not saying you have to spend 1 entire month building the habit of going to the gym. That it only takes like a week or 2 weeks. It might take a week or another 2 weeks pushing hard. Then a week or another 2 weeks, even a few days. Okay, time for myelin to form in your brain. It doesn't take a long time for myelin to coat the neurological fibers that create habits. The more you do something, the more myelin gets strengthened, the thicker it becomes. So if you do more of what you know you need to do, the better you'll become at doing it. But try to target shit little by little. I got this from a book I was reading called The Talent Code. And basically the Talent Code by Daniel Coleman. You can't even see it. Bro, I'll just put a picture up. This book tries to dispel or destroy the belief that people are born with a genetic gift. It uses an analogy early on in the book about a girl with learning an instrument. She is playing like a clarinet or something, or like flute. And she's trying to play a song. But there's one part she just can't do. So she tries to do targeted practice. And basically, there's one part she can't get over, so she tries to do targeted practice. She goes over one riff that she's having a problem with over and over and over again. She does it really slowly so she could build the myelin and slowly strengthen just that part. She does it by part, one little increment at a time, to the point where she could breeze over the song easily. Similarly, you gotta do the same thing with your habits. If you want to start meditating 2 minutes a day, don't fucking try doing 15. You're not going to be able to do 15. You know how much myelin it would take to... Because you have to... What's the opposite of meditating, right? Being a degenerate idiot, right? What destroys a meditative state? Probably something chaotic, right? Scrolling on Instagram Reels. That's the opposite of meditation. And I think it undoes the effects of meditation a little bit. You've been scrolling for so long that constant dopamine is becoming a new normal. So sitting in silence, focusing on your breathing is going to be like, it's actually painful to do. You can't sit through a fuck ton of that pain for a really long time. It's really hard. Then you're just going to quit and you're not going to do it. You're going to say meditation doesn't work. What you need to do is slowly just 2 minutes a day. Any time of the day. 2 to 3 and then 3 to 4 to 5. That's how myelin works in your brain. I hope you learned something. Have a nice day. Send this to someone who struggles with their habits.